So दोस्तों अपना हॉस्टल मैंने छोड़ दिया है and it was at least 100 to 200 years old in the oldest city. मज़ा आ गया. The vibes of Harvard hostels मतलब ऑफ कैंपस ही है बट लाइक हार्वर्ड इज़ अमेजिंग. एंड आपको मैं बता दूं कि व्हाट्स माय आइडिया ऑफ विजिटिंग कॉलेजेस. आपके लिए आपसे पहले आई वांट टू लर्न माई सेल्फ, क्योंकि अगर मैं सीखूंगा तभी आपको कुछ सिखा पाऊंगा, राइट? सो माय आइडिया इज़ आई वांट टू विजिट ऑल द नीट ब्लाइंड बिजनेस स्कूल्स, क्योंकि उनका आइडिया यही है कि यू कम हियर, स्टडी एंड डू योर MBA. You don't have to worry about your expenses. That's so awesome. मतलब आप कितना भी कमा रहे हो, whether it's less than 30 lakh in India or more than, आपको पैसे के बारे में सोचने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. They say, so in short, आप 2 साल यहाँ पे आओ, forget about anything else, just study here, forget about expenses and change the world. That's what I want to do as well. That's why I want to go to a business school for my MBA in the next 3 years, क्योंकि 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस हो चुका है. 5 years के बाद I think it's an idea. That's why I'm gonna learn and share my journey along with it. Let's go. That's Harvard Business School. Finally. Wow, the Harvard Business School is so big. I thought it would be just one building. Yeah, it's so big. So first of all, meet Arpit from Harvard Business School. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So like, आप बताना आप कौन सी ईयर में हो, like when you started?
I am in my second year. तो हमारे फर्स्ट ईयर को कहते हैं RC ईयर, सेकेंड ईयर बोलते हैं EC ईयर. So I am in my EC year. I started in 2020, and going strong in the second year.
And which school are you from? From
I
India?
am from IIT Bombay. Did my undergrad there.
Awesome. Computer science?
No, mechanical engineering.
Awesome.
This is the orientation hall where we also have our orientation as well as convocations.
So HPS की तकरीबन कितनी buildings हैं? HPS की
5 major ones.
5 major buildings?
Yeah.
And all are connected, right?
All are connected.
Oh wow.
There are 10 sections at HPS. A section comprised of around 90 students. So we plan together to basically go on a retreat. It's a COVID conscious retreat, so should definitely make that statement. But we guys are going to Vermont. We'll be doing some activities there.
Oh wow. So it's part of like socializing.
It's part of socializing.
Awesome.
And networking, of course.
Networking, yeah.
So you get to network with your classmates or like other people who are in top companies or something?
So this is majorly with my classmates only.
This is so epic. It's like a mansion, yeah.
Yeah, fancy mansion. Nice.
So let's do a round table with HPS students. So आप please introduce करना.
Sure. Hey, my name is Abhishek. I'm a second year student at HBS.
Hi, my name is Dishant. I'm also a second year student at HBS.
Hi, I'm Prachir Gupta, also second year student at HBS.
I'm Vivek, also second year at HBS.
Hi everyone. I hope you know me. I'm Arpit, second year student at HBS.
Yes. So आप कौन से स्कूल से हो, मतलब ताकि स्टूडेंट गेट टू नो बहुत डाइवर्सिटी. ऐसा नहीं कि सभी IIT से आते हैं. So
गलत टेबल चल रहा है.
गलत चल रही है.
Actually, I'm not
Just one person, not from IIT.
What school are you from?
VIT.
VIT. Okay. And बाकी आप कौन से IIT से?
IIT Kharagpur, 2015.
Awesome.
I'm from Bombay, IIT Bombay.
Oh wow.
IIT Bombay 2014.
Oh wow. And
IIT Bombay 2016. So
क्या बात है. Like,
very less diversity.
That's a lot of diversity. Kharagpur, Bombay.
Different years.
This is like
different cities.
This is definitely epic diversity.
and all different hostels, even within Bombay. So like
Different departments.
different departments, like
Awesome.
different CGPAs, like very diverse.
Might be the same.
Now can you share like your best experiences? Why students should work really hard to get into a HPS? What makes HPS so best? One of the best schools.
You can actually talk about your startup. Like you are getting the motivation and energy.
उसका GTA में मचाएगा यार. ये लौंडा stud है.
कुछ भी डालो.
Yeah, I think community is the best part, and I think if you come in with a clear goal, then you basically you can create a community for all of your like personal and professional goals. So in my case, I came in to start up. and I basically found like pretty much the entire ecosystem very helpful in that regard.
Oh, wow. But international students can easily or like with some difficulty do a startup, right?
I mean, I don't think that, yeah, now I think from an immigration perspective, it's a less sort of a complicated matter if you can find a problem statement to go after. So,
Awesome. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think I keep talking about it a lot. The reason I find HBS so interesting is if you're, say, most of us have worked before for 4 to 5 years before coming here. And in your job life, people don't really say things against you or they don't disagree with you. But in an HBS classroom of 80 to 70 people, almost half the class will always disagree with you. And that makes you question a lot about how you think about business problems, how you think about life problems. So I think that's the most valuable aspect for me. It makes me question myself 500 times in 2 years.
क्या बात है.
So that is the most transformative experience.
That is so amazing. I can tell you that in short, whenever I conduct interviews as a software engineer, I always ask the student, always investigate 5W and 1H, right? हर question का सोचना चाहिए. This tells me about that, right? Yeah. Awesome. Please go ahead.
I mean, it's more like a follow-up to that. Like the case-based method, I think it can be challenging, but it can be pretty liberating as well. Like you literally are theoretically or hypothetically put in a situation where you are in the middle of a situation, a decision that you have to make, and it's kind of a training ground. Like, and across 2 years, we'll be doing 500 case studies on average. So, which means that 500 reps of trying to make some interesting consequential decisions. So that's a pretty good way to train yourself for future.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And आपकी बारी.
Yeah, for me it's somewhat similar to what these guys are talking about, but I'll put it in a different way. So for me, at least the 1.5 years that we've been here, it's been about perspective, right? So where I came from before this, I worked in non-profits for 3 years, and then coming to a school, firstly coming to the US, and then a school like HBS, it's like in some ways like the zenith of capitalism, right, in the world. So that shift for me was very interesting. However, it's like also the type of people you meet here, people who come from different types of backgrounds. Of course, the standard ones is consulting, private equity, finance, whatever, but also people like me from like non-profit or from industry or people who had their own startups. So I think that perspective is really important. Having those conversations with people from different countries, what is the macroeconomic context of where people grew up in. There's people from Venezuela, for example, there's people from Colombia, there's people from Germany, there's someone from Nigeria, and like understanding what situations they come from and sort of relating that back to your own experience. And then having those conversations in this setting, I think that's pretty cool.
Awesome. Plus 100. क्या बात है. Thank you so much. It was pleasure talking to all of you, and I'm sure this knowledge will boost the morale and boost the energy of students to work harder for HBS. Thank you so much. Hey, thank you. That's Arabic.
Yeah, Arabic alphabet.
Oh wow, you can tell easily. But how do you know it's Urdu or Arabic?
So it's important to know that it's not like 50% Indian students in HBS. 30%. Can you repeat? 30%.
It's around 30 to 35% students are international, which is outside of US, and around 65 to 70% are from US. Out of those 30 to 35% folks, you can say that how much that is. That is like 240, 230 students international in our batch of 700. Around 25 to 30 folks are from India who have come from India, and and there would be around 30 to 35 folks who are American born Indians.
मतलब हर क्लासरूम में ये टैग लगा होता है हर बच्चे का. हर बच्चा सेम जगह बैठता है. तो जैसे कि ये डेनियल का डेस्क है तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ डेनियल ही बैठ सकता है. Oh wow, this classroom is so epic. So much diversity, and especially the Indian flag.
It's
Wow.
like a model unit.
Yeah.
It's a model unit thing, or it's like a normal classroom? It's a normal classroom, but basically we all cherish the diversity in the class. And so every year we have a particular day called Flag Day, when we celebrate the different kind of cultures, different kind of people with whom we are here in the class. And at that time we unfurl all these flags.
Oh wow, this is really epic.
Which flag
Feels
is this? I'm just kidding. I don't get which one's this. I don't know.
Yeah, feels proud to have Indian flag here. It feels amazing.
Yeah, and everyone. So even in general, every classroom, pretty much every student sits in the same desk.
Seating arrangement is fixed for students in every class.
Every class.
Yeah.
That is so epic. But how do you make new friends then? Like, it's all about socializing in MBA. And how do you socialize if everyone is.
If suppose you are in a class with 90 other students and they are sitting at different vocations, and you know that, hey, like, my friend sits 3 rows ahead of me and two columns on the right. I actually look forward to their comments. I actually look forward for their perspectives. And it's, if you attend 250 cases with the same set of folks, you eventually become friends, and this bonding becomes like for life.
Oh, so like, for example, if one of the student raises hand, you remember that student.
Yeah.
That, I can
And
see.
after class, we also, let's say, compliment each other. We also discuss about the comments because everyone puts in different perspectives. As my friends earlier were telling about different perspectives. You get to learn about their perspective. You get to hear from them, and you get to understand and whenever there is a contrasting opinion to you, that's when the thing become very interesting, because now you want to have a deeper conversation, deeper discussion, and that leads to a learning which is unparalleled, and that's what makes HBS such a great school.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
So this is one of the major corridors, and this is basement to the library.
Basement to the library. Okay.
And here you will be able to see the complete history of Harvard, of HBS in particular. When, like, in this particular painting, we can see that, and this was from 1926, when some of the buildings of Harvard was under making.
So did you get into both Harvard, Stanford, and UPenn? Like, Wharton is like so popular. Hamare Sundar Pichai graduated from Wharton, right? So, like, why you chose Harvard over all three?
So I chose Harvard because when I think about what I want to do next, I wanted to be in a school which is more generalist in nature, which can provide me with great management experience, and at the same time which has a great reputation across the world, because I plan to go back to India somewhere in the future, and having a HBS tag, and HBS may give me an edge in India when I plan to go back.
Awesome. Yes, because for Indian education system, HBS is more recognized as compared to other schools, right? Awesome. Makes sense. Thank you so much.